Hit that Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
I'm a peacock. You gotta let me fly.
And Tommy Kraft.
They're gonna go nuts when he hits this thing.
Light the candle.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
How about them Cowboys?
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those.
Hey, welcome into a Football Friday edition of the Morning Rush here on ESPN Arkansas and HitThatLine.com. Different location today. We're actually in the Ruskin and Zach studios. Tommy, I stole one of Derek's oatmeal cream pies like Nick Saban. I feel like Nick Saban right now.
Is that breakfast today?
Yeah, this is a breakfast. Nick
you got
Saban.
goodies over there? I just walked in.
do.
I've been in the conference room feverishly preparing for today's show. Is that our breakfast? Is that the catered affair?
There's apparently Abner works for Little Debbie and brings them
they're
to
over
Ruskin
in
and Zach.
Siloam, Jeffrey over there?
And did not pass it along to me, you or Big C or Colton. But either way, we're taking advantage this morning. Appreciate everyone joining us. We're going to be here the next 2 hours. Clay Henry with us in out.
There's a whole bag of Reese's Minis.
Reese's Minis. So not only are Derek's wedding pictures our ESPN Arkansas crew up there, as I noticed on the bookmark, but they have continued to add this stuff in here. I'm amazed that every time I come in here, there's just more stuff and stuff. This looked like my room when I was growing up as a kid. I just had stuff everywhere, and in this studio, they have pretty much done the same thing that I did when I was in middle school and high school, basically. Just added anything that they've accumulated over the last few years of doing this show.
Wow, the whole thing. Hang on. How do I make this work?
Well, the whole thing looks like a flea market in here is what it looks. Looks like a
I like it. I think it's cool. I think it
I
looks.
found the megaphone.
So yeah, you did find Derek's mega. I think it's cool. You've got some pretty cool stuff. But I don't. Rare is it that I actually come in the studio. But we're here this morning. We got plenty to discuss. Go ahead.
Just because you're in their studio doesn't mean you quit talking sports, Ty.
Yeah.
Start talking sports. This is a sports talk show.
It is the
I
morning.
tuned in to hear about sports.
Well, Josh
Not
Heupel.
about what's going on in their studio.
Josh Heupel is the voice you heard there.
I've got Tennessee tomorrow.
Yes, we are. A
Let's
game.
talk some stats.
A game that you've won. All
We
right.
got Big Orange coming in here.
A game that you've won the last 3 times they've come to Fayetteville here. Josh Heupel pointed to the idea that
I've
Arkansas.
been a home fan for 40 years.
Why do callers answer me this? You've done sports radio longer than me. Why do callers?
My first game was when Buddy Bob Benson in the Powder River played. My God, I go all the way back, Ty. I'm a Hog fan.
So answer me this, and
I like that. I may have to get one of those. Just copy that bit.
I've never understood why callers have to qualify their call before coming on. It's like, I've been a Hog fan for so and so. Like, we're taking your call. We're what we.
I love them more than you.
Maybe that's why they do it, to prove that. I think there's a lot of Arkansas fans listening to the program right now, but here again, Josh Heupel talking about the idea of this Arkansas team being.
He'll be in here to spray that with Lysol soon.
Yeah.
You watch.
That's the Matt Jones. That's the Matt Jones way. But I mean, Heupel's right in the comments that he made to start off the show that, like, this team is a couple plays away. Now, they did it to themselves in Stillwater, Oklahoma, and in Arlington, Texas, and they have done it to themselves really the last 2.5 years. And we're going to see how much gall this team has tomorrow night against the best team they played all season, one of the better young quarterbacks in college football, and one of the best offensive play callers in college football. I'd forgotten that. I mean, Heupel was at Missouri. He's been at UCF. Of course,
What's that quarterback's name again, by the way?
Nico at Big C. Fill in the blank. You did it good yesterday.
Iamalieva.
Iamalieva. I heard Chuck did it.
I heard Chuck said he spent an hour last night working on that.
Touching on it. Honestly, Chuck, if you butcher his name, no Arkansas fans cares. It's okay. I know that's a
Thank God he ain't from Elkins.
He's not. He is a Cali kid, and he's a dandy. Tennessee's got a couple. 5. I think they got one committed, and I think they're probably going to end up getting another 1 or 2. I think they might have flipped a Notre Dame kid. Maybe I heard Zach say that earlier this week. No, that was Auburn. Excuse me.
Well, who hasn't?
Yeah.
You know.
It would be nice to have a 5-star quarterback on your roster. But you do have a guy that in his first game in Fayetteville did not perform. Didn't have a great game last week, but he was under duress a lot of times. I'm curious, like, for Taylon Green later on tomorrow night. By the way, this the correct kickoff time. It's not
6:40.
There you go. You were listening to Chuck and Bo. You get those little tidbits from Chuck that You don't necessarily get
Because TV will tell you it's 6:30.
Yeah, but they want
So,
you the pregame.
Why
and all
is that important? Why is it important? You know, it's 6:44, not 6:30. Why is that extremely important tomorrow, Ty?
I'm at a loss for words.
That's 2 more beers at the tailgate.
Oh, there you go.
Why would I go in? You know, so you might think I need to leave the tailgate about 6:10. Well, no. You got to know exactly when kickoff's at because that could, that's 2 more beers you could drink at the tailgate.
Right, you are there. Yeah. Right, you are. So if you got a chance to again pop down 2 more tops tomorrow night, I think there's a lot of people. We've got a pizza party tonight. It's like 26 of us that kind of jumbled together. Pizza party? Do you like that? Pizza party. I sound like I'm in 6th grade again. Well, it's
Are you getting a cheese pizza too?
Pepperoni, cheese, sausage.
My kids do. That drives me nuts. Hopefully they'll outgrow it.
Well, I don't.
Pizza,
I'll eat
please.
the pepperoni and sausage, but some will like cheese, even though they're 20 some odd years old. I don't understand that. I'm like you. I'd rather
Are you
just.
an adult if you're still eating cheese pizza?
I don't think so. But I don't like mac and cheese. I don't know how many of my food
Damn
criticisms.
it, they give you a free topping. They give you one for
Yeah.
free. You're just wasting the topping.
It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. All right, let's go and get into our opening drive here this morning. I was waiting on it. Sorry.
I got busy with the microphone.
We have great playmakers all across the offense in JJ, Armstrong, Talon, Tesla, Satania. We have to execute our game plan. We have to communicate and prepare better than we did last week.
Hodge is going to take it to the end zone. The most improbable win for the Atlanta Falcons. Swinging a fly ball to right field. Reel it back at the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career.
This is the opening drive presented by First Financial Mortgage in Fort Smith.
So a couple highlights there. No Corso this weekend, but you did get Herbie in town as well as Chris Fowler. One of the plays with Pete Alonso, the go-ahead run for the New York Mets. A couple other things in that soundbite. You heard Josh Heupel again, the Open, talking about what Arkansas has to do. A great Thursday night football game last night.
Is Corso missing game day? You said no Corso.
Well, he's not in Fayetteville.
Well, yeah,
that was
I knew that, but
I mean, it was a highlight of Corso. I was like, you don't get Corso, but Herbie and Fowler are in town, and then great Thursday night matchup. Actually, I
mean, at his age, you got to ask. It
could have been something bad.
Keep him off the set.
Yeah. But I was pretty. Did you watch any of that game last night between the Falcons and the Buccaneers? Actually, Kirk Cousins in primetime actually performed.
I was at a ball game, and then our text group, they were talking about how great that game was. But no, I didn't get to see much of it. I was, believe it or not, up working. We have got a behind the curtain here. We got a big meeting today, and I was actually up to well past my bedtime to get everything. I was cramming it in for today. But I was following along on the text group, and they said it was a heck of a ball game.
A really good football game. Hopefully we're in for one tomorrow night. And again, we've taken plenty of calls and texts this week that people don't think it's going to be a good game. And I get that. Clay's going to be with us an hour or two, and one of his, highlights in his column on hitthatline.com is centered around hope. We'll play around some Ted Lasso stuff later on in the program. But I
got some Ted Lasso in my sales meeting today.
I need a pick-me-up.
Yep.
With this,
you got the
football
oatmeal
team.
cream pie there.
I do, but I'm not talking about burn my energy. I'm fine energy-wise. I'm not lethargic or anything, but I need a couple reasons.
Go get in the liquor cabinet?
No, not that yet.
No, okay.
I just need a couple reasons why this game's going to be close tomorrow night, because everything points to 78-3 in the first quarter for Tennessee in the first 4 games. Arkansas struggling against the defensive line. Tennessee's is better. I'm just a little concerned that this game might get out of hand. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but there's a lot of metrics that favor the Vols in this one. I know you're at home. I know you've had success against Tennessee in an upset before, but this is a little worrisome. This is a scary game where you're tiptoeing around tomorrow night, and I just need to be convinced otherwise.
Okay, that was the question I wanted to ask next. Is will we know early? Will we know in the first 3 drives for Tennessee? See, because here's my fear based on everything we've seen them do. It could be 21-0 before the popcorn gets good and hot, which, by the way, they made on Tuesday somewhere down there. But you hear what you know what I'm saying? This game could be I don't say out of control, but seem out of hand early. Because if you dig a 14-0, 17-0 hole, 21-0 hole in the first quarter, I think it's time to go back to the tailgate. I don't see with that defense. I don't see you coming back. So I think early success to keep you in the game is really, really important tomorrow night.
Yeah, I hope that they get off and running. We'll see what happens. I also want to when you think about Tennessee fans and you hear this, what do you think about? What's the first? It could be a game. It could be an interaction. It could be the mascot, Old Smokey. When you hear that song, you think about the Smoky Mountains,
Hillbilly
Pixie,
in the mountain.
Hillbillies. You think about hillbillies.
Right or wrong, I think about Phil Fulmer. I think
That's
about
where your
Peyton
mind
Manning.
goes when you hear this.
I think about 98, ahead of 99. Those are the things that come to mind for me.
That's the first.
But because you don't have the working memory at your age, not your fault, but of every damn year playing these people. And when you came in the league, that's the way it was. South Carolina and Tennessee were on your schedule every year. Outside of the West, those were your crossover East Division permanent opponents at that time under that structure. And they've won more than we've won in this series. And there's been some real heartbreak. There's been some great games. But I think about Phil Fulmer because he was the guy on the sideline with his arms folded over his belly as a lot of those victories were delivered over the Razorbacks.
We got to tackle him. He's all man. He's all man. That was one of the better halftime interviews they gave. I think that was Dr. Jerry Punch. That is your opening drive. It's brought to you by our friends at First Financial Mortgage. Ethan Adamson and his team can help out with any mortgage, whether you're refinancing, whether you're needing one for the first time. I know he helped me along my path, and I didn't know what I was doing. So luckily, Ethan, Emily, and their entire team were there with me every step of the way. You can give them a call, 479-782-9300, to go online to ffb1.com. First Financial Mortgage, in the business of you, equal housing lender. We got our Fence Man Friday picks coming up in just one bit. Sean's going to join us via the hotline. I've sent him the picks. We got an interesting game in College Station this weekend featuring his wife's Aggies and the Missouri Tigers that we're going to pick coming up momentarily.
Well, if things go sideways, sometime this weekend you can get by Andy's Frozen Custards. Nothing makes you feel better like something chocolatey, something with your favorite flavors, maybe some peanut butter in it. Andy's Frozen Custards, they're on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith, plus other locations with 2 in Conway, 1 in North Little Rock as well. They're right across from UCA in Conway, and don't forget, like I said, just off the JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. And if you're gearing up for the big game this weekend, don't leave empty-handed. Take home a pick 6, mix and match 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect game time treat. Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. 2 locations in Conway. They're in North Little Rock as well. Andy's Frozen Custards. Walk up or drive through. They're ready for you.
JT in Hot Springs immediately asked to turn that bleep off. This is actually a good text, and Tommy, this is someone we haven't mentioned yet, but this is a great response. Austin chimes in. Pat Summitt. You think about the late Pat Summitt and everything she was able to establish in women's basketball. One of the best rivalries we've seen the last couple decades was Gina Auriemma and Pat Summitt. The Tennessee Volunteers. Candace Parker is probably the most notable player that I think that comes to mind. But Tennessee basketball, I know it's good under Rick Barnes now, and I know they had some good times with Bruce Pearl, I should say, but that is a women's basketball school because of what Pat Summitt was able to establish in Knoxville.
No question. I mean, it's the gold standard before Connecticut became part of that equation. So that is also a correct answer of what you think about.
Big Steve texting in, he says, people wearing orange in Benville Square. I don't think they've ever seen a crosswalk before.
We told you they were going to invade a little bit. I heard Chuck early this morning talking about Tennessee fans being at the coaches show earlier this week. You remember? I mean, and this point was brought up, but kind of forget Sam Pittman had a brief stint on his coaching resume there, so they're familiar. But that's not what that's not what this game's going to be about. This game's going to be about, can the Razorbacks not be the team that gets in their own way? Can they be the team that doesn't turn the ball over? Can they be the team that finally protects their quarterback enough to make good decisions? And can this be the team that they have to be the team, Ty, that doesn't fall behind, a couple touchdowns in the first quarter tomorrow night?
Yep.
And Tennessee can put it on you worse than that.
We are going to pick that game. It is time to welcome in our buddy Sean from the Fence Man this morning. Sean, big game tomorrow night. I know you got family in Tennessee. How have the group text been going in the Brazel household all this week?
Well, it's been pretty calm, and I'm a little disappointed because, like I said, I've got some friends and the best friend and all that lives out that way, and I've kind of sent them some stuff, and they've been slow to respond, so it makes me wonder.
Why don't you start up right now?
Yeah.
Say Hogs by 10 tomorrow night. Get it going a little bit. Be the instigator.
I am really looking forward to tomorrow night because me and my man, the fence man here, me and Sean, we're going to the game together. So we're gonna have a big time tomorrow, Sean. Win or lose, we're gonna be winners.
We are. We're going to sit up there and root them Hogs on and then watch a big win over a good team.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully so. All right, let's go and get into our Fence Man Friday picks.
Fenceman Friday Picks. Call the Fenceman for all kinds of fences, controlled access, and custom iron projects. 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. We ain't afraid of no work.
All right, so the Hogs and Vols right now, last time I checked, I'll check one more time, but it was at 13. I'll go back and double check that. We'll pick some games before we get into Arkansas and Tennessee. Let's go straight to College Station, guys. Missouri against Texas A&M. This is a big game for both squads. Missouri is a visiting favorite in this one as they travel to College Station. I think that we're ultimately going to see Marcel Reed for another week. I apologize. They're a visiting underdog. They're a 2.5-point underdog heading to College Station. Tommy, the Aggies pull off, even though they're the betting favorite, they are number 25 versus number 9. Do they get an upset behind a redshirt freshman quarterback and go start 4-0 under him?
Yes, they do. And I like Gig'em at home, so give me the Aggies. 2.5 is just too small a line.
Sean, it's nice for you. You don't have to worry about changing the channel or putting things on multiple TVs. You can watch the game with her, and then you can go up to Fayetteville with Tommy. It's an 11 a.m. game. How's your wife feeling about tomorrow at 11 against Missouri?
She's a diehard Aggie fan, so she's going to go that way. But I'll be honest with you guys. It's going to be a little bit rough at my house, but I'm going to go Missouri.
Oh, I think that's the first time ever. Is that the first time ever he's done that?
I think so.
I think it's the first time ever. He's going to go
He's going to be out of the house by noon.
I was going to say.
He's not worried about it. I know what my man Sean's doing.
Hopefully it does not get passed along to her. All right, let's go to the Deep South Soulless rivalry. Tommy, you've had a different take on this week than I have. I think Georgia's going to blow the doors off Auburn. Auburn sucks. Peyton Thorne's bad. Noah Brown's bad. They just don't have a good football team right now. Bulldogs are a 24.5-point favorite after losing against Alabama. I get the emotional aspect, but I think they win this game by 4 more touchdowns. Go Dogs.
And listen, I am no gambling savant or expert, but I would be interested in that first half line, which probably should be about half of that line total, and I would take Auburn in that first half. I might be wrong, and the sign of a great team is one that doesn't come out flat following an emotional letdown. But I expect both Alabama and Georgia to have some flatness to their early performance this week. For that reason, I'll take Auburn.
Sean, where are you going on this one? You going Dogs or Tigers?
No, I'm gonna go Dogs. I think Georgia's gonna come back, and they're gonna have to set the stage if they're still dominant. I mean, last week they might have stumbled, but they've got to turn around and set that bar.
Now, Georgia's going to win this game. Don't mishear me. I'm just talking about we're talking about betting lines here. Yeah.
All right, let's go out east where South Carolina and the Gamecocks are hosting Ole Miss. Ole Miss drops at home to Kentucky last week. This line shifted a little bit. It's now 8.5 in favor of Ole Miss. Ole Miss is an 8.5-point favorite as the South Carolina Gamecocks are underdogs at Williams-Brice Stadium. I'll start on this one. I think Ole Miss beats them by at least 2 touchdowns. It might be close in the fourth quarter, but I think they cover the 8.5-point spread.
I like Ole Miss as well.
I'm on the same ship and boat with you guys. Ole Miss, I think, is going to take it.
All on the same island.
Pretty easily.
All right, let's go to, you mentioned letdowns, Tom. Let's go to Nashville, Tennessee, where Vanderbilt right now is hosting Alabama. They are 23.5-point underdogs as the home team. Diego Pavia is one of the more unheralded and exciting quarterbacks to watch if you hadn't seen him. I actually like Vanderbilt to cover in this game. I really do.
What was the line you said?
23.5.
I'll take Vandy.
Sean, what do you think on this one, brother?
Well, I bet against Alabama at the beginning of the season because I didn't think they were going to have what it took. So I'm going to stay with them. I think Alabama will win and cover.
Yeah, I think Alabama, it proved something to me last week that I didn't anticipate, kind of like you, Sean. So I'm curious to see if they're able to not have a letdown this week. All right, let's go to the game of the day right here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. 6:44 official kickoff time, as we talked about and heard from Chuck earlier.
Here on ESPN Arkansas.
Yep, and right here on ESPN Arkansas, our pregame coverage beginning at 1 o'clock. The latest line, I think, is 13.5. I want to double-check it one more time. But, Tommy, I'll let you start it off. If Arkansas is a 13.5-point underdog, or 14.5 on the Bet Saracen app, I should say, what is your selection with Tennessee and Arkansas?
You know, again, first quarter is so important. We've talked about the keys, and Clay will be in here in the next hour with some of the keys to the game. But I'm going to go with Tennessee and lay the points.
Sean, where are we going on this, man? 14.5. That's 2 touchdowns, and Arkansas could still cover. What do you think?
You know, I think our defense is going to do a really good job. I'm proud of our defense, but I'm a little hesitant about our offense and our blocking in the front line. If we can't keep them off of our quarterback, we can't open up the lanes for the run game. I want my Hogs to win. Don't get me wrong. I really, really do. But I'm going to still take them in the points, but I'm afraid Tennessee is going to get this one. But I'm going to take the Hogs in the points.
782-3936 for the Fence Man. Sean, we'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week. If you need a fence or anything involving a fence, call the Fence Man. 782-3936.
Make sure you're subscribed to the Hit That Line Podcast Network. If you do, the podcast will automatically download to your phone. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always,
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN.
Warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb page brand
He means the website, which is shop on Razorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
This is former Alabama and All-Pro safety Roman Harper, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The first thing people notice when they drive up to your home or walk in any room of your house is the color. And if you're looking for the perfect color and the perfect paint, you'll find it at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The Paint Store in Van Buren gives you hometown service from people who know what they're talking about. You don't have to chase them down to get help at the Paint Store. They're always there to help you get that perfect color and that perfect match for your project. If you're looking for the perfect paint color, it's at the Paint Store, 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine. On North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. Also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Dial Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle. 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith. 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hoghats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
You know, one of the difficult things about preparing for this Tennessee Volunteers team tomorrow night is their balance, not only offensively but defensively. We heard from Eric Gregory earlier this week, stopping both the run and the pass for the Vols.
You have to respect both of them. You just can't sell out for the run, and you just can't sell out for the pass, or they're going to pop a big one on you, man. So you just got to stay neutral, man, and stay in the game, be ready for both of them.
I think in talking with Tennessee fans this week, they've had this balance offensively before at times. But Tommy, what makes Vols fans so excited about their team, like Craig and Deere, like Bruce, is that defense is just one of the best in the country too, and that's what you also have to deal with on offense. They're just a really complete football team you got tomorrow night.
It's been close to 20 years before when they could actually believe they're in the conversation for a national championship. 12-team playoff helps. They're going to be in the. I mean, they're going to have to stub their toe more than twice probably to not be in the mix for that 12-team playoff. So I understand why their fans are hopeful. They have a reason to be, and they're the most complete team we've seen in more than a decade with Tennessee.
Yep. And
this is what the portal and a lot of NIL money will do for you.
I mentioned that defense. We heard from Joshua Braun earlier this week. They just want to give Talon a chance to make some plays.
Talon is an incredible athlete, and we as an offensive line have to put him in the best position possible for him to showcase his skills and to be able to make plays. I mean, we have great playmakers all across the offense, and JJ, Armstrong, Talon, Tesla, Satania. I mean, we're talented across the board, and we have to hold up our end of the bargain. As I said before, we have to execute our game plan. We have to communicate and prepare better than we did last week, because obviously we didn't get it done.
And hopefully they do that. A couple other Hog news. Arkansas takes on Mississippi State tonight in soccer. 2 undefeated teams in this league. Arkansas, number 1 in the country. Hogs volleyball plays in Norman tomorrow against the Sooners at 2 o'clock. We said 6:44 kickoff. Plus, you got the fall series in Fayetteville, Tommy, in addition to the Oklahoma State next week. So you got a couple things you could take advantage of in Fayetteville this weekend.
The hardcore baseball fans will be out there. They'll be watching that, and I think there'll be more than you think will be at that. I mean, I'm not saying Baum Walker's going to be full, but there will be a noticeable crowd. There will be a noticeable crowd for that Oklahoma State 2-game set.
Tennessee, is Tony Vitello going to go there do some scouting?
He flying a drone over.
Yeah, for that final series in Bob Walker next season. All right, that's your Hog Update this morning. Brought to you by our friends, as always, at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, so we got more to get into here on the Morning Rush concerning some players. I want to talk again, continue on the idea of, hey, what do you think of when you hear Rocky talk about Tennessee as a whole, state, fan base, whatever? It can be degrading. That's okay. Just don't degrade Bruce or Craig. We love those guys, just not a lot of other fans. Speaking of love, we got love for our friend Larry Rath with Rath Auto Resources and his son David Rath with Rath Mitsubishi. Larry, did he just leave you out to dry this week? What's David doing this week?
He did.
Is he on
He took
vacation?
off on vacation. Yeah. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I would have thought
I
you
think
taught your
it's
son
first
better
one
than
like
that.
6-7 years, but that's
Okay.
Still.
All right,
Couldn't
well
have worked
deserved.
fine.
Wait, you get a vacation every 7 years? Oh, man, that's some pretty loose policies over there.
The car business is second only to radio as far as ours work,
You get 3 days after 10 years around here.
That's right. Yeah, work all the holidays. Yeah.
Well, Larry, my check engine light came on the other day, and it was coming back from Dallas, which is never fun. Luckily, Monday, give a call about 8 a.m. Montague Car Care Center got me out of there by 1 o'clock after I got there at 12, and Philip, Tanner, Corey, the rest of the team, it was quick and easy, and it's at both locations as well.
Yeah, they do a great job in the Meineke Car Care Centers. We're real proud of those. We've got 2 of the top 10 in the nation. We're really excited about that, and it's because we got the best people. I mean, you were talking about Philip, Tanner, Carter, this bunch in Springdale, Tiffany and Matt and Nate, just a terrific bunch of people taking care of your car and taking care of you, too. They really know how to do it. And it's everything from, a flat tire to an oil change to a major repair, anything in between, they can do it. And when you come into the Meineke Car Care Center, you get that great report. I know you've seen that. Ty, you've gotten those reports while you're sitting in the waiting room waiting on your car. But we're doing that complete inspection. We're sending you pictures, measurements, so you can kind of stay ahead of your car. And that really is the secret to automotive maintenance, just staying just a step ahead, making sure that you don't break down on the side of the road because nobody's looking for that, or have a small problem turn into a big problem. So come in for all of your maintenance and let us take care of your car with a full inspection every time. And we'll keep you ahead of your car in the Meineke Car Care Center. The best idea, though, right now, guys, trade that thing in and get yourself a brand-new Mitsubishi or a road-ready certified vehicle at either location. We've got a great selection of road-ready certified cars and trucks, SUVs, vans, whatever you're looking for, we've got them. They're priced to sell, folks. It's kind of a fall clearance time for us right now. We're going to move a lot of these units, and we really need those trade-ins. So we're giving extra for trades. We're making it easy for you to trade up right now. Get that vehicle you've been wanting at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, and a great set of incentives. We just got our incentives from Mitsubishi. 0.99% on 60 months on Outlander, Eclipse Cross. Even the Outlander PHEV qualifies for that. And that's a terrific savings if you've been worried about interest rates. Well, that takes all the worry out of that. Plus, we've got trade-in incentives, lots of good incentives on all these new Mitsubishis. Folks, if it's not on your radar, we understand that. Hadn't been in the market that long, but if you come and drive these new Mitsubishis, check out the tech, check out the interior trim in these things, the beautiful styling. And the 5-year, 60,000-mile full coverage warranty, you're going to want a new Mitsubishi, and we're going to save you a lot of money doing it. If you're looking for a used car, road-ready certified with warranty, the best used car your money can buy, available at each location. So it's going to be a big weekend. We hope you'll come out and see us. Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, or check us out online, rathauto.com.
Larry, good chat, man. As always, have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one. Folks, come and see us.
Hey, if some fishing's on your weekend agenda, be sure and stop by Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores everywhere. Get the Rebel Crick Hopper, some Thill Floats, the Head and Super Spook Jr. Do some topwater fishing this weekend with Pratco.
For the best sports talk.
There's never been anything like this.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Oliver Miller, former Arkansas Razorback.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, Sakale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and HitThatLine.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching.
But how do you pay for it all? At Mock Legal Solutions, we offer flat fees and payment plans, so you can get back on track without selling a kidney. Now that's a monster of a deal. Call today for a free consultation. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions. Real advice, reasonable price.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Z Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Kristen's Place in Lowell online at CartPathSocial.com. CartPath Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun.
All right, I want to zero in on the defense with today's Cart Path Social Morning Rush Daily Question because I don't want to say we know what the offense is, but I don't think we're going to see a world's difference, I should say, in the offensive performance and productivity tomorrow. I think they're going to have some big plays. I think Taylor Green's going to cut back across the field. I think you're going to have some a decent ground game, but you're going to have protection problems, and they're going to turn the ball over a time or two. That's just what they are.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, it's just what they are. I mean, why would you think any different? Special teams might be the biggest question. We talked about them yesterday, but I want to ask about the defense. Morning Rush Daily Question. How is this defense that has statistically struggled against the pass, how is it going to do against this Tennessee offense that loves to throw the ball and has put up a lot of points? How's the defense do tomorrow, Ty?
When you say statistically struggle against the pass, it's because they're just put in terrible situations. So if Arkansas's offense has success offensively,
my notes are in the game notes are in the other. But I mean, when you're last in the league, there's no explaining around that at this point.
I just think so. They're right now currently 89th in college football, giving up 226.
15th or 16th this week in the SEC.
I couldn't tell you on that.
All right.
But I just listen. And I don't know if it's Zach or Chuck but someone on our station said statistics lie to you. I don't think you're that bad of a team defensively. And I mean, if you put Tennessee in some situations, like they didn't play great against Oklahoma. I know they won. But that was more about their defense in that game. I know they throttled.
They put it on their defense in that game.
Yeah. So I think Arkansas can have success defensively tomorrow night, both against the pass and against the run. I was really hoping to see Jalen Braxton back. Doesn't sound like he's going to be. Or I say he's not going to be back according to the SEC report. Hudson Clark status still up in the air. Hope to see him, but. I think they can. I think they can do enough. I just think the offense is, unfortunately, like you said, going to put them in some terrible situations.
Because we talked about Tennessee's ability to score points and do it in a hurry. To me, this game boils down to your defense is going to have to play perhaps their best game of the year, at a minimum, their best game to date this year to keep Arkansas in this ball game in the fourth quarter. So
what I think
that's the one thing that you cannot have a chance to win this game without a stellar defensive effort. And you can say that a lot of weeks. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I think we talk a lot about Taylor Green and his protection and all the other things that are important as well. But the defense may be the most important thing tomorrow.
I think one of the issues I have is similar to last year, the defense has kept you, like you think about the LSU loss, the Ole Miss loss, the Alabama loss in 2023. The defense did everything in those games to give you a chance to win. The two losses this year, they allowed a grand total of 21 points against Texas A&M and did not allow an offensive touchdown until 50 minutes in the fourth quarter against Oklahoma State. I know that score was a little larger, but with two overtimes and stuff like that, that score was what it was. So I thought Bobby Petrino, and maybe this was a misthought on my part, I thought that he would be the reason that they won those one-score games. And thus far through two of them, he has not been the difference. Mm-hmm. And we're going to find out because these are not the only two.
You're not saying it's his fault. You're
just
saying that you thought he would bring enough
to the table, and it hasn't happened. Maybe that's unfair of me to think it would happen in the first.
No, I don't think that's unfair.
In the second game, because offenses are complex. We know from listening.
Well, we spent all. I hate to interrupt, but we spent all summer talking about is he worth a touchdown a game, and I think we all agreed he's probably worth a touchdown a game.
But he's not. Unfortunately.
Well, you've lost two games we don't. Is he or isn't he? Would you be losing by a larger margin if he wasn't getting is he getting the most out of this offense? I don't know. I mean, none of us know the exact answer to this. You're just looking at the final difference on the scoreboard and saying, well, you lost by 4. So, he wasn't enough. Well, I mean, I don't know that's accurate, but you would hope that maybe you can figure out a way to break over on these close games.
Oklahoma has a pretty good defense. I don't know if Arkansas is as good as they are, but I do know Oklahoma had some areas that they attacked. I think Tennessee was down to their fourth string left or right tackle. I'm forgetting which one. I think they've got one of the guys back, but that's an area hopefully Landon Jackson, Nico Davier, and some of the other defensive ends can help out with that passing defense you're talking about. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question, the number one destination for indoor golf in all of Arkansas. You can play world-famous courses, majors all over the country, all over the world. Up to 8 golfers per bay. It's BYOB. Yes, bring your food, bring your alcohol. It's a great place to watch for tailgate games, NFL Sundays, NFL Thursdays, parties, whatever. It's located at 122 Grant Place in Lowell. CartPassSocial.com. Cart Pass Social, the getting out of the sun, making golfing fun. All right, we've got some calls here, starting with Brian in Ozark. Brian, what's going on this Football Friday, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. I was calling about the game tomorrow. I don't know what Arkansas can do to win that game, and I'm not going to put them down. I'd like to see them win, but this is what I'm looking at. Arkansas has no pass rush. If they can't put pressure on that quarterback, he's going to pick apart that secondary easily. I think we all know that. That's no rocket science there, but, what do you think about that?
They had Landon had 2 sacks in the last game, and they might have added one more against A&M. Their pass rush isn't great. Your point's well made. I'd be lying if I said it was. But I think if Arkansas can stop the run, which they have showed a pretty good ability to do, this Nico, he comes in heralded as this 5-star kid from California, but you can look at his numbers, Brian. He didn't play out of this world at Norman. They scored 25 points. Now, again, they kind of put it to their defense to close out that game. But he's still in his second SEC start as a 19-year-old, I think he is. So you just never know what kind of outcome you'll have in those situations with a young kid.
Made a comment and was overheard saying that, he kind of laughed about his offense. Said, our defense was playing so well. We took a lot of our offense out of that game because we didn't need our offense. Our defense was playing that great. So, when a head coach makes that comment, I don't know that Arkansas is going to score much against that defense. Then, the Tennessee offense is what it is. But anyways, I hope they win for you guys.
Me too, man.
That's all.
Yep. It'll be a lot better on Monday. I think it was a combination of a couple things. One, Heupel was a little probably concerned with that Oklahoma pass rush, which he didn't want getting to his quarterback when they had offensive line issues. 2, that's still home from him. That's his alma mater. That's a place where he won a national championship. I know there was a lot of hype leading into that game. I know it's a place he got fired, but home's home. And I don't think he wanted to embarrass that program by any stretch of the imagination. And they had the game won, so he let his defense have it.
Do you think they could have embarrassed him? Do you think he took his foot off the throttle?
Yeah, I saw it in Athens 3 years ago when Georgia could have scored 65 on Arkansas, and Kirby Smart called off the dogs. There's no coaches do that.
I don't think he called the dogs off at Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma just dug in and kept fighting back in the second half, but then they never really challenged to win that game. But that part doesn't matter. Tennessee's coming off a bye week.
That's probably the biggest key.
And I don't think that's been discussed enough. Is this going to be a team that a little out of rhythm, a little out of sorts, or is this going to be a team that's well rested and a fine oiled machine? I guess we're going to know. Here's the issue. You're going to know in the first quarter. I think you're going to know with 3 or 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. I think you're going to know 10 minutes into this ball game probably what the rest of the day may look like. So the first 15 minutes of this game is paramount because of their ability to score and score quick.
Well, the issue with this game is you're playing them on Saturday, October 5th, rather than Saturday, October 12th, the week before they play Alabama. They get Florida next week. I know they've had trouble with Florida in recent years, but I don't see them having any issue with the Gators. They're healthy. You're not. The tight end position. We had a question earlier. I think it was Dimitri or one of the texters texting about the split back set because they can't really run based on health. It's not like if the guys were healthy they can run it, but you're probably not going to see a lot of two tight end sets because there's not enough guys that they trust out there. So maybe
is that an extra back end at times for Chip?
And I don't know if that's Jaquinton Jackson or Rashad Dominion. I don't know if that's. By the way, Rodney Hill's out for this game. For those who don't know or haven't heard this week, I don't know if that's Jaquinton Jackson. We see Rashad Dominion for the first time since first game against UAPB. If we see more Braylon Russell, he continues to get carries and get trust from this coaching staff. But Petrino's got his hands tied behind his back, essentially, with some of the personnel that he has to try to utilize to beat a better football team come tomorrow night.
Hey, stop into TGI Fridays here on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They got an incredible lineup for their meal deals. This includes crispy chicken fingers for only $9.99. That comes with fries and coleslaw. Their whiskey glazed chicken slammers. What a great flavor, just $10.99. Buffalo chicken slammers for $10.99. Grilled salmon, $15.98, and the big ribs that Fridays is famous for, only $14.99, all served with a side and a fountain drink. So if you're looking for lunch for around $10, they've got it at TGI Fridays. Don't miss happy hour twice dailies, 3 to 6 and 9 to close, karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and 50-cent wings on Mondays. It's all at TGI Fridays, 540 in Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
We played the clip earlier from Joshua Braun talking about to give Talon and his team times. I think one of the other important assets of this football game is what Kevin and Harrison just texted in. I think they need to make Talon get a play or two in early, specifically a solid throw to boost his confidence. Tennessee's confident right now heading into this game. By Sam Pittman's own account, your starting quarterback is not. That's a major concern heading in to not just one of the best front fours, because they rotate like 10 guys, but their linebacker core is great too. That is a huge concern. The last time he played in Fayetteville, it was a stinker. He had his worst game of the season. Now he's going up against a better team, more impact. I'm just curious what Talon Green we see in that first quarter, like you keep alluding to.
Yeah, and is he comfortable? Confidence only something that he can answer, but does he look confident? I heard y'all talk. I heard Chuck and Botan. I guess it's National Body Language Day. What's his body language like? How does he seem to have poise? This Tennessee defense is one that can rattle you. So we'll see. But I think how he gets out of the gate's important. I hope Arkansas wins the toss, and I hope they take the ball if they do.
Danny's in Texarkana this morning. Clay Henry's coming up in about 10 minutes. Danny, you're up first, man. What you got for us?
Yeah, man. I was wondering what y'all think about maybe keep holding extra offensive linemen in place of a tight end this weekend.
You see that sometimes in running plays near goal line and fourth down stuff. I don't think you're necessarily going to see 6 offensive linemen. It's very unorthodox unless you're a kind of pro-heavy run team. But I think you'll see, like Tommy made a reference to it, that you'll probably see some 2-back sets this week just for chipping purposes. I would
Jason
think.
Peters not walking through that door.
Yeah, and they don't have just like this quote tight end like Jason Peters that blocks.
Right.
And that's again a health detriment right now for this Hog team.
Hey, brought to you by Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. The biggest brands and the best prices, always with a lifetime warranty. This is the weekend to get everything ready for camping. Or if you've been camping all summer and you need help with winterization, they're there for you to do that as well. Again, Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
All right, hour 2 number coming up in just a sec. Clay Henry's column up live now for the last couple days on hitthatline.com surrounding the word hope. There's a good Ted Lasso clip that we'll play when we return. And we've got some more calls and texts that we'll get to as well. How are you feeling about this game? What do you think about Tennessee fans? What comes to mind when you hear Rocky Top? And is cheese pizza, is that un-American? All that in hour 2.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
479-782-3936.
Get the best deals of the year on select New Holland tractors and hay equipment right now at WT Equipment during New Holland's year-end value bonanza. Get the biggest savings with cash back plus 0% interest, $0 down, and zero due until 2025. Don't miss your chance to harvest our best deals on New Holland's best equipment during value bonanza now at WT Equipment. Offer ends December 31st or while supplies last. For commercial use only. Subject to credit approval and CNH Industrial Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and restrictions apply.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
This is the Morning Rush.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a bounty of sunshine. Our high this afternoon will be into the upper 80s, clear skies, upper 50s to low 60s overnight. Saturday, right back to sunshine, upper 80s. And then for Sunday, blue skies, sunshine. Our high on Sunday in the upper 80s to near 90. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Shamrock Liquor Warehouse, 5609 Midland Boulevard, your leader in fine wines, beers, and spirits. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
First of all, I know it's going to be a great environment there. This is a really good football team. They're a couple of plays away from being undefeated, playing extremely physical both sides of the line of scrimmage. Defensively, one of the best teams in the country defensively and offensively. They're rushing the football about as good as anybody, and they've created plays on special teams. So huge test for us this week to prepare the right way and get ready to go play our best football.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live on your favorite radio station, hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app.
Don't say it's a fine morning or I'll shoot you.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
and Tommy Kraft.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
Produced by Christian Johnston. Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
Let's stand up and call those home!
Hey, we welcome into hour number 2 of the Morning Rush live on a Football Friday. Clay Henry with myself, then Big C the next hour. Tommy has some general manager duties he's got to attend to, so he's going to be off until Monday. We got some good stuff to talk about with Clay, including his latest column right now on hitthatline.com. There is still hope for the Hogs. We'll address that coming up in just a bit. Before we do, I want to tell you about our friends at River City Coatings. Whether small or large, they can help you with all your powder coating needs. It's not just a layer of paint. It becomes part of the metal, withstand chemicals, abrasions, and more. When your metals last when you want them to, get powder coating with River City Coating. Over 25 years of experience, and it's stronger than paint. So whether it's patio furniture, rims, brake calipers, farm equipment parts, and more, no project is too big or too small. Check them out online at rivercitycoatings.com or give them a call today at 471-7675. That's 471-7675 for River City Coatings. Clay, I think we have to start our conversation out with this clip.
So I've been hearing this phrase y'all got over here that I ain't too crazy about. It's the hope that kills you. I disagree, I think it's the lack of hope. See, I believe in hope. I believe in belief. Now, where I'm from, we got a saying too. Question, actually. Do you believe in miracles? Now, I don't need y'all to answer that question for me, but I do want you to answer that question for yourselves. Right now. Do you believe in miracles?
Comes with you, one of your favorite shows, Ted Lasso. I know you likened him to Houston Nutt before. That is, that's one of the better shows that I've watched with Jason Sudeikis.
So that is, that's the finale of year 3,
Mm-hmm.
and it's as good a show. Now, you have to see all of it to realize, but they tie together all the little subplots that there's about 40 of them. They tie them all together in that last episode, and that's the pregame locker room speech. Now, I don't think you win games with locker room speech. I think you win games with players and the way you practice. And
Taylor is an incredible athlete.
Fun.
Yeah, and sorry, I didn't mean to continue what you're saying.
Yeah, I just think that's a fun episode, but it went along with what I think people are they're trying to decide. Razorback Nation is trying to decide: do you believe in this team? Is there still hope, or are they going to keep losing games just like they've lost the 2 this year and the 3 last year that were close, that they just didn't get it done in the fourth quarter? And do you still believe? Now, my daughter is a soccer junkie or whatever. She played soccer just about her whole life. She's in her 40s now. She can't play anymore, but she played college soccer, and we tend to watch a lot of soccer together. Watch a lot of premiership games together. We watched, anytime the U.S. national men or women are playing, we watch that. And, she got us into the Ted Lasso deal, and I've watched it 2 or 3 times. If I'm bored, can't find anything on TV, I'll just start up Ted Lasso. And she got me the little pennant that they have hanging in their locker room that says "Believe." I've got it hanging on my desk, so when I walk into my study, that's the first thing and you have to have belief. You have to. When you don't have belief, that's when things fall apart. And I think you saw the last 2 games last year, that team let go of the rope. Then they, that Auburn game and Missouri game, there was no belief. And you just, if you're in the fan base, what keeps you believing?
Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Visit your local Toyota dealer today.
Guys, can we get that knocked off?
Do we have gremlins?
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, gremlins from time to time. By the way, Clay's column is presented by the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders. We'll tell you more about them coming up momentarily. Clay, kind of the context of that TV show, it's kind of got a major league tie into a little bit. And I say that because you've got an owner that initially wants to sink the team because it's her ex-husband's. It was his pride and joy. And then she comes to love Ted, comes to love the team.
She wins it in a divorce.
Yeah, and it ends up being a really cool story where Sudeikis, I don't know if he initially thought when he took the role it was going to be as big as it was, but I think like there are some.
The writing is really good. But whoever cast the characters, there are about 20 home runs in it. And if you read the backstory, I'm talking about, as the thing came together, if you go and read a lot of the stories written about it in the reviews, and you realize how they picked those characters, and they all became stars in their roles. But yeah, I tend to like that. We're locked in now to Tulsa King with Sly Stallone. I don't know if you watched any of that. I lived in Tulsa for 14 years, so all those landmarks, are important to me. And you talk about casting, Sly Stallone as a mobster is just like a home run. I mean, it's a grand slam. I mean, I don't think he does any acting. He just
just kind of walks around. Yeah. I've seen the trailer and I've seen little excerpts here and there. Is it a good show?
Yeah, it's good.
I'm kind of looking for
Sunday
one.
night on Paramount Plus.
Okay.
You got to pay, but we already had that, so it's a no-brainer. But we love that show, and there's we just got finished with Netflix. I got started in the summer with this is old, and most people listening have already been down this road, but we got hooked into Suits and really liked that.
I'm so glad you like Suits.
Yeah, we loved that. And, we would watch, over the last 2 months, we watched 3 episodes every night.
Great show.
Just kind of go to sleep watching it.
Favorite character? Harvey, Mike, Rachel.
Oh, I liked Mike the best.
Okay.
Yeah, when they phased him out late in it, I almost got lost interest in it.
It's not as good.
But there's a lot of good characters in that. But, when you watch it, binge watching it like that, and all at once you're hooked into a character, and then they drop them out. That's kind of tough. But Harvey's good. I think that there's now every once in a while there was a clunker that I thought, okay, this is not believable. This is overwritten. So Suits had some of that.
Well, you mentioned soccer, Sarah. I do want to ask you about Ozark United FC, which they kind of unveiled the logos and stuff about that yesterday. One of my friend's dad actually kind of helped orchestrate that deal, the land and everything, which is cool. More Tennessee stuff coming up in just a bit, because I need you to get out of my rut. I don't feel good about this game tomorrow night, and I know you can always point out things that people that don't follow the game and the plays and the coaches and the players as closely as you do can find some positivity. So I need you to pull me out of this rut that I've been in this week thinking about this game come Monday or come tomorrow night.
First of all, if you can't get excited about Arkansas, Tennessee, then there's problem number one.
Well, I think this team's going to be excited about tomorrow night. First time they've been in Fayetteville since UAB was in town, and they got a chance to beat their first top 5 matchup since 1999. A reference Clay's column, which you can find up right now on hitthatline.com. It is brought to you by our friends at the Greater Fort Smith's Association of Home Builders. October 4th today through October 6th and October 11th through the 13th. For 2 weekends, 44 homes will be open from noon to 5 daily. There's several showcase homes as well, chosen by the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders, that you can come check out. For map and sponsors, check out the Greater Fort Smith Home Association of Home Builders online at fortsmithhomebuilders.com. That's fortsmithhomebuilders.com. Clay's Column every week, brought to you by the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders. All right, when we return, we got our SEC update. I also want to ask you about some SEC games this weekend. We got some good ones, I think. Hopefully they'll end up being that in the end. All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up here on a Football Friday when we return.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Cheering for the other SEC schools is like cheering for the devil because he's in the Bible. I'm not going to do it.
This is the Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is former Razorback pitcher Connor Noland, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where we are rolling out Rath Auto Relief. Now through midnight on Halloween, get up to $1,500 Rath cash when you purchase any one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Use it to pay your sales tax, get extra for your trade, or just take it right off the price. Plus, follow us on Facebook for fun-free giveaways every week. Rath Auto Relief, one more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote. Get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSAuto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Springdale, Fort Smith, and now in Greenland. Always online at burtonpools.com.
Hey, back here on the Morning Rush here for a Football Friday. It's time for your SEC update, brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Clay, we were picking some games earlier here on our Fenceman Friday segment. There's some SEC games. Got a couple that have buys. Arkansas, of course, before LSU will have one next week. I kind of want to ask your opinion. We'll start at College Station. What do you think about that Missouri A&M game? Marcel Reed going for his 4th win as the A&M quarterback. They are actually home favorites, which I was kind of surprised at against the visiting Tigers. Tigers haven't looked as good offensively as they did last year. What are you thinking about that game?
Yeah, I think, well, first of all, I think there's a huge difference between Missouri's defense last year and this year. I think they had a bunch of scorpions up front, and you really saw that in the bowl game where they made life miserable for Ohio State. I like Missouri in this game, and I think Brady Cook is just so much better than what Texas A&M has at quarterback, and I don't think that A&M will be able to just run the ball. That won't be, and I think this is this will be kind of a coming out party for Missouri. Now, I mean, I'm no expert on this, but I think Texas A&M is not a great team. I mean, I think Arkansas should have beat them last week, and that they'll get theirs this week.
Auburn and Georgia, we were joking about Hugh Freeze during the break. He's got a tough one on the road in Athens, in a place that they have not had much success lately, in Sanford Stadium. His seat kind of getting a little hot. I thought he was going to have success in Auburn, Alabama. It has not panned out like that.
Well, he doesn't have a quarterback, and you can say, well, he hasn't coached up the quarterback. Quarterbacks are what they are. I mean, I don't think there's anything magical you can do with an average quarterback, and they're not great in the offensive line. I think this is more about Georgia. Do they have a hangover after Alabama, or do they play the way they did in the second half when they found their vertical passing game? And that had been missing this season. They lost some playmakers. They lost a lot of playmakers, and it just seemed like some guys stepped up and kind of found themselves, and they found a little bit of their identity. Will they? But I think part of their problem had been that they've been playing horizontally, which is easier to defend. You have to also play some vertically. You can't just be horizontal. And once they added that vertical game in the second half against Alabama, they looked to be much more formidable than they had in their first few games.
Speaking of vertical, I thought Ole Miss would not have a lot of trouble at points this season, but I guess that's what you get when you don't play anyone the first 4 games of the year. They lose at home to Kentucky. They're now in Columbia, South Carolina tomorrow.
Yep. They got whipped at the line of scrimmage last week.
You're always high on Stoops' his offensive and defensive line. He's got some SEC offensive and defensive line.
It's the way they practice. It's their toughness factor, and they did the same thing to Georgia. They lined up, in man-to-man, won a lot of battles, got a lot of stalemates, caused problems, did the same thing to Ole Miss. They made Jackson Dart uncomfortable. And when you can do that, you're going to have success. Yeah, I think Kentucky is probably the most underrated program in the SEC year to year, and the South Carolina game threw us all off.
Yeah,
they didn't play well.
Really peculiar.
Yeah, they didn't play well, and some things. There were some things about that game that just didn't make any sense. That South Carolina was able to run the ball, and Kentucky made too many mistakes. That's the problem with sometimes when you've got a brand new quarterback, is figuring out what he can do, maybe trying to do too much. I think that fits with where Arkansas is right now, that they've been trying to do too much with the new quarterback.
Well, Kalen DeBoer sure's found something that he's good with whatever Jalen Milroe is doing. I was curious kind of what we'd see from Milroe this year under a pretty lethal offensive head coach, and so far so good. They go to Vanderbilt in Nashville, which traditionally is a place you just curb stomp teams. But, I mean, Diego Pavia, he's not bad. They've scared some teams this year, most notably Missouri. Is there a little letdown for the Crimson Tide this week in Nashville?
That could happen. But I think what you have with this Alabama team is a lot of playmakers. They are really good with talented on the offensive side of the football. They've got some young players. And let's just face it, that guy has the Midas touch as far as offense. I'm talking about the coach.
DeBoer.
You just go back through his career, wherever he's been, they have moved the ball and they've scored points. And he knows how to move wide receivers around, motion, knows how to set up things, and he's got a running quarterback that can get to the edge. And you have to back to the horizontal vertical thing. He makes you defend every foot on the field.
Milroe's got a good
They're
deep
gonna
ball,
go,
too.
Yeah, they're going to go horizontally with Milrose, and then he can also go vertically.
Yeah. That is your SEC update, brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas. Summer's winding down, and the savings are just getting started. It is the end of the season sale at Burton Pools and Spas right now. Own a pool, it's more affordable than ever. Save up to $14,000 on fiberglass pools at the first 10 customers who purchase an aqua-free pool with a premium vinyl finish and will receive a hot tub. Yes, a free hot tub. Hurry in. Sale ends October 8th. Come see Burton Pools and Spas in Fort Smith, Springdale, or their new location in Greenland, and go to burtonpools.com. We do more than build swimming pools. We build long-term relationships at Burton Pools and Spas. I want to come back to what's happening here in Fayetteville this weekend. Tommy asked a good question. How do you think Arkansas's pass defense holds up tomorrow night? I know where they are statistically, Clay, and part of that, I think, is because the defensive line has got as much pressure that Travis Williams has liked. Hoping to see Hudson Clark back in uniform, not just in uniform, but playing tomorrow night. How do they hold up against that Tennessee unit, you think?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a defensive game, and I think that's an interesting idea. Can they stop Tennessee? I think Arkansas's defense is at least as good as Oklahoma's, and they put pressure on to the point that in the second half, Josh Heupel decided to protect his quarterback, and kind of, I listened to you and Tommy, and I agree more with what you said than Tommy. I know that's dangerous. He's the boss.
Dangerous rhetoric, Clay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that Arkansas, everybody's talking about Hudson Clark coming back. How can you take Metcalf off the field with the way he's played?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I think this is a big game for Slaughter. Does Tennessee go after one of their old players? Do they want to embarrass him for leaving the nickel back? And I think there's been times where people have gone after him, but he's held up fairly well.
Yeah, most notably in the Oklahoma State game. I'm forgetting the Luke has his teammate at Bixby, Oklahoma, but he was outstanding that game. They picked on Slaughter a little bit. All right, we'll talk more Arkansas, Tennessee coming up. Clay Henry is the entire second hour here on the Morning Rush here on a Football Friday. And he's a fan of Gaston's, considering his son-in-law works there. Mr. Christopher gets to do some fishing out there. So it is a great place for trout fishing, not just in Arkansas, but all over the United States. When I talked to people in Montana, went all the way up there, and they heard about the White River. It's a great place, not just to go fishing. My parents love the lodging. 870-431-5202. You can check them out at gastons.com. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. My screen paused. Every time.
McGee with ESPN and Marty and McGee, and you are listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
You got any Ric Flairs in you?
Woo!
That's pretty good right there.
This is the Morning Rush.
Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give
Thanks
you
for
time.
watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Try our winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor Pool for the upcoming season. When the game is over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today and use promo code BELIEVE and get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Colin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the
Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 4th Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag, just $6.99. Loaded with fries, a drink, and 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Choose any 2 plus fries and a drink, all only $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck. Available for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
call them a mixture, right? DJ mixture. Ty, help me with this. Is that how you describing it?
A mixologist.
Mixologist.
Yeah, DJ works here, Clay.
Jalen Green with a snap. Plenty of protection down the seam. Got a man complete. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Luke has. There's your touchdown play of 43 yards, and Arkansas is a PAT away from a tie.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
So it's a bummer Luke Has seems to be dealing with the back issue because that was a big play that led to Arkansas tying up that football game, helped send it into overtime. Unfortunately, Arkansas was not able to prevail in Stillwater. We'll ask Clay kind of what on that position group, what that looks like. And he also brought up TJ Metcalf, who had the game of his life against Auburn, a team he was not offered out of high school by as an Alabama kid. We can discuss more about him coming up in just a bit. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Farm Credit. Whether you're just trying to spruce up your existing home or you need to build a brand new one, you can trust the experts at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas to help you choose the financing option that is best for you. Visit myaglender.com or drop by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today to get started on building family memories. myaglender.com, 25 locations. That's Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Let's start with TJ for a sec. So this is a kid from Alabama. Not only was he not offered by Alabama, he wasn't offered by Auburn, and comes in with the chip. Yeah, or Tennessee. And comes in with the chip on his shoulder. We know what that game meant to Travis Williams. Has the 2 interceptions, the tip pass to Slaughter, and the forced fumble, which Stephen Dix recovered in the end zone. But that has not necessarily been a thing. Arkansas enforced a lot of turnovers this game. How do you simulate what the success you had in that in a team like Tennessee who has a potent offense tomorrow night?
Well, the other team has to help you a little bit. They've got to leave the ball uncovered. They've got to throw it into pressure. But part of forcing turnovers is making the quarterback uncomfortable, and they did that a little bit against Texas A&M. A little more pressure, and what that forced is Texas A&M decided to run the ball at the end of the game because they couldn't protect their quarterback. There were some sacks. So we'll see if Arkansas they're going to continue to turn up the pressure. Now, part of deciding what you're going to do offensively is what are the capabilities of the other team's quarterback. Is he a runner? If you over pressure, you're going to turn him loose.
Yeah.
It means you're going to play man to man, and I think that the quarterbacks that can handle pressure and they're veteran, you tend not to pressure. The young quarterbacks, you tend to pressure. So now you're playing Tennessee, a young quarterback.
Who has some speed, like you said.
He has some speed, has some ability to make plays with his feet.
More than Milton did last year. That kind of has opened up this offense.
Yeah, I think that's true. So do you want to hurt your coverage and your ability to contain? So we'll see how that goes, but it's I think that this is a defensive line that has to beat one-on-one a few more times.
So on that note, we saw Landon do that for the first time all season last week. Landon Jackson, 8 tackles, led the team, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss. That's kind of who we were expecting from the jump this year. How do you keep him on that same level maybe for this game tomorrow night against some not necessarily weak tackles, but some lesser if you look at the rest of Tennessee?
So if you go back and you really study that tape, you see that they ran some linebackers through. And when you're doing that, it means that you don't have a back to chip. He's got to concentrate on that linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And so Landon had a lot more one-on-one. So if there's no linebacker coming through, the back is free to turn loose of the middle protection and help outside. So it's a double-edged sword defensively.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to risk leaving your middle unprotected for both pass and scrambles by sending a linebacker? You also, if you do that, you might help Landon Jackson, where I think that he can beat one-on-one, but he's been getting help. Either a guard has been sliding over, their protections have been to his side. And then the other thing that I think that a lot of teams have done, they haven't thrown a lot against Arkansas. I mean, A&M didn't throw it much.
was like 20
or
something passes.
or
yeah.
quick passes
Yeah.
in the case of UAB. But he has made himself a part of the defense with his run stop. And if you'll also look at Nico Davier's stats, he's had a lot of run tackles. Well, they're running to his side. They're running away from Landon Jackson's side. You know, it's like you can flip him around. You know, the quarterback, all he's got to do is change the play. You know, like we're going to run right or left. Well, if
Let's run away from the potential
we find
NFL
number
guy.
40, yeah, we find number 40, we're going to go the other way.
Clay, what do you think about when you hear this? I know you gotta refrain from certain words when you hear this, but what do you think is a player, a coach, a fan of vernacular when you hear this song?
Very boring.
Very boring.
Yeah, I don't sing along if you're asking me
Okay.
that.
Well, there's JT Hot Springs sent us the way that we're supposed to sing along, but we can't sing along like that way on air, apparently, according to the.
Has he
the
got
FCC.
some slang words that you throw in there?
It does have some slang words that he's thrown there.
Some
Pretty
BS
much,
stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty much all of it is incorporated by that. But we've cited a couple things this morning. I know you've got a relationship with Coach Fulmer, which is cool. Pat Summitt was mentioned. Like when you think about Tennessee as a brand, Pat Summitt's been up there. Johnny Majors, of course. I just blanked on the famous broadcaster that's that used to call their games, and I can't. It just escaped my mind. But this was a game in a series that Tommy's pointed out several times. I mean, you play these guys every year, and there were some great games.
This was
back then.
supposed to be the crossover game for the East, and after 11 years, the SEC decided, no, we're not going to do that anymore. And I don't know if Tennessee complained. They have their rivals. You know, they've got Georgia, they've got Florida, they got Alabama. And some would say recently when they had struggling with the head coaching part, you know, with Dooley and Kiffin,
Butch
Vanderbilt.
Jones.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt became a rival. They didn't want to admit it, but Vanderbilt's is beating them in their house. I'd say that was a rival that they should have paid attention to.
Oh yeah.
But it's an interesting series in that if you go all the way back to 1954, Arkansas wins the Cotton Bowl with the 25 Little Pigs, and they give Bowden White a Cadillac, and he takes those keys and he gets in that car and he drives to Knoxville, became their head coach. So that was that was a sore subject. So that then you look at guys like Doug Dickey and Johnny Majors, and they were on Arkansas's 1964 staff that won the national championship, and there's definitely some ties there. Phil Fulmer, when he became head coach, the first thing he did is he called and hired his best friend off the Arkansas staff, John Stuckey, who became their weight coach, one of the great weight coaches in college football. Was the first weight coach that really Arkansas had. Coach Broyles decided to spend money on a weight coach. He had been the strength coach when Arkansas went to the Cotton Bowl in '88 and '89.
Okay.
And then there's this, I think we were sitting at Steel Wings in a duck blind and, pretty bored. There weren't any ducks flying. And Coach Fulmer was saying, hey, that 92 game where Todd Wright kicked the field goal probably kept me from coming to Arkansas. Coach Broyles had reached out to Coach Dickey, who's AD at Tennessee, about hiring Phil Fulmer to be, the coach. When Joe Kynes was the interim coach at Arkansas, well, when Arkansas won, they fired Johnny Majors and elevated him to be head coach. So that prevented him from coming, to Arkansas.
Your entrance to the SEC might have looked a little different.
It might have been, yeah. And so there's a lot of fun ties. You can probably think of some even further back. John Barnhill was a Tennessee guy, was athletic director at Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to really go further back, Bobby Dodd, when he was head coach at Georgia Tech, he sent a lot of coaches to Tennessee.
Okay.
Coach Broyles is in the Bobby Dodd tree. So there's a lot of different aspects of that kind of come to light when Arkansas and Tennessee hook up. So,
well, we got a negative text, Clay, out of the 501. Arkansas won't be able to score, so the defense will wear down. Tennessee wins 54-0. 54-0. with.
Did he say
over 5.
nil?
He said 0. But
Okay, I
put
was going to
nil.
say.
Since you were to reference Sarah's.
Yeah, there's nobody in Tennessee that talks soccer talk.
Arkansas will turn the ball over 4 times in this game, and that brings up a fair point. So I doubt Arkansas, unfortunately, ranks 110th in turnovers this season. Tommy said it earlier, kind of know who they are. Unfortunately, that's been a product of the offense, whether it's Jaquindon Jackson fumbling the ball or people getting in the backfield.
Or a fumble punt in special teams.
Yeah, that too with Isaiah Satania. How do you correct that? We're 5 games in. It's pretty consistent throughout these 5 games. Like, if you're,
that's part of what I wrote about this week, and I don't think you do it in a pregame speech. I think you do it, starting in the off season, starting with everything you do. Mm-hmm. It's about how you build character within your team. What do you establish as the culture? And I think when you're the other part about it offensively, when you've got a playbook that's 400 pages, and then you're trying to figure out what your identity is, and you try to do too much. And I think the tough part is that if you're Bobby Petrino, you've got to do a lot of things because you're trying to figure out what can our guys do, what fits this offensive line, what fits, our offensive personnel. We lack tight ends right now because of injuries. Maybe what he thought was going to be the identity is not turned out to be that because of injuries at tight end. So you're changing your personnel group. You've got a center that's never played center before. There's another Tennessee connection. Austin Nichols transferred from Tennessee.
Yep.
So this is a big game for him, a big game for Tennessee playing against one of their former teammates. And what do they do because they want to prove that you made a mistake in jumping ship? And I think that's part of what players have. But when you're not sure of your identity, you're probably not polished. You're not sure what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. They want their identity to be able to run the football. It's just this past game is kind of stymied.
Yeah. So I think that what Bobby Petrino wants to do is play action, and that starts with running the ball. If you can't run the ball, you don't have play action. Mm-hmm. So you played Texas A&M. Maybe you didn't think you could run against that defensive front. Well, I got news for you. Tennessee's defensive front is just as good and is probably deeper. They rotate 8 guys.
And their linebackers might be better too.
They're really good in their front.
Mm-hmm.
It might be as good a front as there is in college football as far as depth. So can you line up and assault them? I don't know. I think that but if you don't concentrate on the run game, your quarterback's going to be overwhelmed, which is what happened last week. 41 passes, too many passes. I would argue that you cut that in half, you throw 20 passes. Even if your run game isn't dominant, I think that it shortens the game, and maybe your defensive front's fresh at the end when you have a chance to you've got the lead and your defense you subbed out maybe because they were tired. So if you shorten that game and ran the ball a few more times, maybe that last fourth quarter drive that Texas A&M that didn't even happen because the game was over.
Yeah, I want to reference back to your column on hitthatline.com. There's still hope for the Hogs on the front page right now of hitthatline.com. All Clay's column brought to you by the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders, and we'll tell you more about them coming up in just a bit. But that conservative approach that you just alluded to, I thought Kentucky did a fabulous job. Ole Miss and Tennessee are similar in the sense they try and go up tempo, they try to run the football, and then also sets up their quick hitting passing game. Tennessee's probably a little faster, but what Kentucky was able to do in that first quarter is Vanderbilt had the ball for what seemed like forever. They dominated the time of possession in that first half. Ole Miss got a little antsy, and they were at home. My hope would be if Arkansas can establish that running game like you're talking about, then maybe Tennessee gets a little antsy like we saw the Rebels get last week.
A big question going into the game, and I'm right there with you. Tennessee has not been behind. They have not trailed 1 second in any game.
Yep.
If you win the toss, the common thought is that you defer to the second half. I don't think they do that. I think they take the ball and try to score on that Tennessee defense and put some pressure on Tennessee, put them behind, make them do some things that they haven't done, and then you might shorten the game. It's just exactly the time of possession will be huge in this game. Can Arkansas's offense control the line of scrimmage against this great defense, Tennessee, and then maybe take some pressure off of Taylor Green with a running game? And the best way to attack a great defense is to run straight at them.
I know a lot of people don't like Tennessee, and I understand why. But you got to give credit to what Danny White, their athletic director, has done there. I mean, Josh Heupel's got this football team in a great spot right now. They could potentially wind up the college football playoff. Barnes is a really solid coach. I can't wait for that first matchup in Knoxville. Arkansas's first SEC game, by the way. And then, unfortunately for a lot of Arkansas fans, Tennessee just won their national championship. Arkansas's got a lot of sports right now that are rocking and rolling. Soccer team's number one. Jason Watson's doing a great job with the volleyball team. Women's golf team just won the Blessing Collegiate. But from a three major sports perspective, Clay, they got it rolling in Knoxville right now.
That's true. And they've got a 100,000-seat stadium that's sold out.
Yep.
And it's a tight sellout with a waiting list.
Like 15,000 or
so
something.
What are they going to do? They're going to raise ticket prices next year.
Mm-hmm.
So that they've got it rolling. They're paying their coaches. I'm sure that Josh Heupel will probably get another raise after this season. We'll see what happens in the next month. Are they legit? I'm not sure that they played a great schedule at this point. I'm not sure how good Oklahoma is. Now, you can say what you want. Going to Norman is a good victory in any way you want to look at it. But I think there's some unrealistic expectations now what this Tennessee is. You still have a young quarterback. They're still kind of playing and keeping things conservative, kind of keeping things under wraps. You saw what they did against Oklahoma. They definitely took the pressure off of him in the second half. And for that Tennessee fan that wants to predict 50-0, I think that's a pipe dream.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when you look at Arkansas over the last 2 years, there hasn't been – until they gave up at the end of last season against Auburn in Missouri. You go back and you look at leading in the fourth quarter at Ole Miss, 3-point game at Tuscaloosa at Alabama. You led in the fourth quarter at LSU. There's reason to think that Arkansas can go toe-to-toe with Tennessee. And I think Arkansas should be excited. They're playing at home. I think it's going to be a night game and have good atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee may not know exactly what they're getting into.
And Texas didn't know a couple weeks ago. I know Coach Pittman and I think a few players alluded to that idea. I don't think Texas knew what they were getting into. And this Tennessee team's way better than that team with Sark, and I think in year 1 or 2. But sometimes that happens. They walk into a buzzsaw. I heard Coach Nutt say on Chuck and Bo show earlier this week, they don't know what it's like to trifle. And I'm paraphrasing with a fighting Razorback, and hopefully they find out tomorrow night. If you haven't read Clay's column, you can do so again on hitthatline.com. There is still hope for the Hogs. It's brought to you again by our friends at the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders, which have their parade of homes today through Sunday and then next Friday through next Sunday as well. For 2 weekends, 44 homes in the parade of homes will be open from noon to 5 daily. Don't miss out on the year's stunning homes featuring all the new designs and the cutting-edge craftsmanship. For map and sponsors, check out the Greater Fort Smith Association of Home Builders online at fortsmithhomebuilders.com. The Showcase home is located at 2428 Brandywine Street in the East Village subdivision in Greenwood. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and over 2,000 square feet that you have to see. One more time, fortsmithhomebuilders.com. All right, we were joking about soccer earlier. Clay, this Ozark United FC in Northwest Arkansas, we mentioned Colby Hale's squad. They've got a big game tonight in Starkville, Mississippi. I know you've kind of grown into a soccer fan because of obviously your daughter, and we get Matt Jones to talk about this daily. I'm excited about this come 2026.
Yeah, I think that Sarah and I talked about that we missed a great opportunity for their unveiling of their name, all that, their logo.
Mm-hmm.
I like their logo.
I think it looks good. I do too.
So it's Ozark United, right?
Yeah, Ozark United
Football Club.
Football Club, correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a green logo. Nobody around here is using green, so that's maybe their mascot will be a tree. It's like we got the Ozarks, and yeah, I'm sure that I'm going to go to some of those games, and we'll see how it goes. They haven't picked a mascot yet. Maybe you don't pick soccer mascots. Maybe you just
leave it be.
Yeah, just leave it be. Yeah. So I am a soccer soccer fan, if you read my column, you'll get the Ted Lasso references. We even embedded Ted Lasso's pregame speech from the finale that I think is pretty cool, where he talks about belief and hope, and and I use some of those references to kind of go through the Bobby Petrino era at Arkansas. When you got hope that first year was when Casey Dick came off after being benched at Starkville, started that game.
People forget
LSU,
that.
yeah,
for Nathan, yeah.
So they lost at Mississippi State the week before, and then came back and got their 5th victory. And I think another thing that's really important to point out, and we like to remember how well Ryan Mallett and Tyler Wilson played under Bobby Petrino, but they didn't have to play that first year. They both got to sit out as red shirts and learn the system. And Taylor Green didn't have that.
Nope.
And neither do any of these other players that are all learning things, including the wide receivers and the offensive line and the running backs. And this is a complex, thick playbook, and they're still figuring it out. I think that there is some hope that they're going to get better as they go, and I think Bobby will know what they can do and what they can't do with this collection of players.
Yeah, I think people forget, and I've made a point to say that because I think Arkansas fans, not just based on size and stature, comparing Taylor to Matt, but Ryan, of course, sat out the 2008 season. Tyler comes in 2009, loses the starting job to Ryan, which kind of understandable based on where they were as true freshmen versus where Ryan was in his career. And then he gets to sit another year on top of that.
He's back up for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years. And so, like you said, when you have all these complexities that we hear about with Petrino, you've obviously had plenty of conversation. It's not easy. We had Tyler's a Morning Rush co-host, and he told us how complex it was.
So what we've seen through 5 games is a collection of superlatives. There have been great plays, but it hasn't been a tight, cohesive unit yet.
Yeah.
They're still working on that. See if maybe it comes together a little more this week against Tennessee.
Picks up a little bit. You mentioned Neyland and how many season tickets they've sold, which is pretty astonishing. What kind of crowd? Good crowd are we? Do we hear a record broken tomorrow night? It's a top 5 or not a top 5. It's a number top 5 team in the country coming in. What kind of attendance do you expect from people? I've got 20 some odd friends coming, Clay.
Well, I think that this is a great time to tailgate. We've got great weather. We've got a great SEC opponent, night game, national TV. All the ingredients are there for a big crowd.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping it pans out that way. Well, man, I appreciate you stopping by and doing an hour with just me. I don't know if you were told that initially, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I think I knew that.
Okay.
I came anyway.
You came anyway. That is Clay Henry again. His latest column up right now on hitthatline.com. It's got a great Ted Lasso clip in there as well. It's been a good show here on a Football Friday. One of our great sponsors, APAC Arcola, has job openings right here in Northwest Arkansas and the Boone, Marion, and Baxter counties. So if you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, concrete finisher, diesel mechanic, or you have paving or concrete labor experience, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online at jobs.crh.com. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer. One last thing. We got about a minute.
I think I want to get my CDL license. I'd like to drive. I've always 2 things, either an excavator or a big green tractor, one of those 2.
I think you could do both. I think a lot of people would trust you to drive their vehicles.
I mean,
both.
if you've got an excavator, you do anything you want. You're the apex predator of the road.
I haven't asked you about the slobber hog yet. Do we see that in Bud Walton this season? Do they
I think it's a no-brainer, yes.
I think that's it. Well, hopefully it pans out. Monday, 5 o'clock is the final time that Hunter Yurchek announced again, trying to get a $500,000 limit. Not just limit, but they're trying to hit that so they can get that matching donation and get the slobber hog on the court. I know we got a lot of nostalgic Razorback basketball fans listening. That tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. We got paid today, I guess, so I'm going to make sure I live up to my word and do that 100 on Monday. If they win, I got to go up to 200, and Tommy's got to go up to 500. So we'll see what plays out in Razorback Stadium this weekend. Well, that's going to do it for us. Appreciate Clay, appreciate Tommy, Big C, and the rest of our team here at ESPN Arkansas. We got Phil Elson and Matt Jones coming up next. Arkansas Game Day live at the Stadium Shop on Ridgeback tomorrow, starting at 1. Full weekend of coverage right here on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and